Welcome aboard to the 2024 Toyota Camry SE Nightshade with all-wheel drive and a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine. This is one of the last non-hybrid Camrys that you're going to be able to get, so let me show you around. For $32,000, you get a 2.5-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine with 202 horsepower and 182 pound-feet of torque, and it definitely gets up to the speed limit with no problems at all. It is incredibly quick thanks to its all-wheel drive and a really nice and smooth 8-speed automatic transmission. Definitely a step up from the CVT. Now let's begin with the exterior. Now even though this vehicle hasn't been redesigned since 2018, it still looks really good. I love the way they have that little drooping Toyota badge over the bigger grille on the front. I also really like these little bits on the front over here too. It's kind of a droopy effect and it looks really good here. I like how the Toyota badge is nice and big. I also really like these full LED headlights with accompanying halogen turn signals. It's a great way to cost cut right over there. The one thing I don't like is that these are fake and not functional, but it breaks up the exterior nicely. Speaking of the exterior, we have this lovely midnight black metallic, which has these little blue flakes in it. It just looks absolutely incredible in the sunlight. What also looks incredible are these 19-inch bronze wheels. They're not actually bronze, but they're a bronze color, and they look absolutely fantastic on this Bridgestone rubber. It's definitely more of a racing spec because we have the Nightshade model here. The Nightshade model not only adds these nice wheels, but if we go back to the back for a second, we have these blacked out badges over here too, and on this midnight black, it looks absolutely fantastic, along with these twin exhaust tailpipes. Those look pretty cool as well, although I do wish we had a matching set over here. Let's go back to the side of the vehicle for a second, and let's take a look at the overall side profile. Now, even though the side profile isn't going to change much for the 2025 model year, it still looks really good. I like this body line that just goes in between the door handles here, if you can see that. And I just overall love the simplicity of it. The Camry is meant to be a very basic car. I like how they managed to keep it basic, but make it look sophisticated and classy and very cool all at the same time. Now let's work our way to the back one last time while I'll show you guys these full halogen taillights, turn signals, and reversing lights. Again, I like how there's a separate amber portion. And I believe you can get full LED taillights on the higher trim levels of the current Camry, but these will definitely do since you can easily replace the bulbs. But I like this fake diffuser down here. I really like the look of that, as well as, once again, the twin exhaust pipes right over there. It's nice to see some real exhaust pipes on this car, especially since we have a real gas engine in this vehicle for the last time ever for now. But let's go ahead and check out the interior of this Camry, and I'll show you guys why it is extremely cool too. So the interior of the Toyota Camry is extremely cool because it has this line that kind of does like this little curve and works its way down here. I really like how they took advantage of all the space here and added all the physical climate control buttons that they possibly could. They are extremely easy to use, really easy to jump from low to high. Everything's physical buttons. Nothing is built into the touchscreen. All the buttons feel really nice as well. All the air vents are very easy to get to. But let's work our way back over here. I like the very simple window controls. They're nice and easy to use. Lock buttons, mirror adjustments are all as per usual. Down here you have your automatic high beams, traction control off, trunk open button, and gas cap open button. And we even have a little hidden storage compartment, which no one will know about unless, of course, they watch this video. Working our way over to the steering wheel, we have Toyota's, basically the latest generation of Toyota's steering wheel. We have all your volume controls here. We have all your other radio controls, such as your back and next buttons here. Cruise controls are all on the steering wheel this time. And we even have a D-pad to control this lovely center display. You can see your miles per hour and various other data, such as your driving assists, and you can even see your tire pressure too, which is really nice, as well as your exterior temperature and your clock. I really like how they kept the tachometer and the speedometer fully physical, again, keeping that old school look, but also cost cutting on the price. Now down here we have a fully tilting and telescoping steering wheel, but it telescopes quite a bit, which I really like. Down here we have my favorite part by far, which is the turnkey start. This is one of the first new cars I've ever reviewed since starting to review with a full turnkey start. So it's nice to see that return to classic form there. I know we won't see it for long, but it's nice to see. Over here we have paddle shifters, which actually work because we have an actual transmission with real speeds, unlike the CVT. Over here you can adjust your cabin lighting and reset your odometer. Your headlight controls and turn signals are right here. Wiper stalks are down here and they're pretty easy to use. But overall, it's a very nice cockpit to be in. Let's work our way over to the screen. We have fully wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. No wireless yet, but the USB port is easily accessed right here. No USB-C yet, but hopefully we'll see that in the 25. And we even have a 12-volt socket here as well. Very easy doors to get to. We have a nice little pad. I don't believe this does any wireless charging, but it's a nice little place to put your phone. If you slide that back, you get even more room down here, which is nice. And here's your shifter for your 8-speed automatic transmission. Very nice and easy to use. And we even have a sport mode too, which is really cool. But you can choose between eco, normal, and sport. If we switch to sport mode, you'll see a little sport light light up on the gauge cluster, and it actually tightens up the steering a little bit too, making it feel a little more sporty. We also have your park brake hold and your electromechanical parking brake. Some fantastic features there. We have 2 cup holders, although the one thing I wish it had was 2 more teeth on each side here, but overall it holds drinks just fine. Over here we have your center console with a little latch right over here, and inside of here then you get your USB Type-C and USB Type-A ports, so everybody is happy at the end of the day. Over here we have your glove box with lots of room inside of there. Not the biggest glove box in the world, but it's just big enough to fit, well, gloves and various other paperwork. I also like this really cool trim. I like this little pattern going on here. Definitely makes it a little more creative. Speaking of patterns, I love the pattern on these seats. This is absolutely fantastic. We got like a bit of leather and a bit of cloth going on here with a little Alcantara stripe in the middle. I love the ridged pattern on here. It's a perfect way to mix the two. Now for the driver's side, we do have fully powered seats with height adjustment and lumbar support, which is also fantastic. So overall, the front seat of this Camry is a nice place to be. I also really like this dimming mirror here. It's fully frameless. I like the sun visor with a little extension on the end there and a little convenience light. I also love how there's a giant sunglass holder here, 2 more convenience lights that are full LED, and in the back seat where I have lots of leg room, quite a decent amount of headroom for a sedan, and I get some amenities back here, but not a ton. I have a little storage cubby right over here. Not a ton of technology back here at all, but I do get this nice little fold-out armrest with perfectly sized cup holders. And the door panels here are hard plastic, but it doesn't feel like cheap plastic. It's just plastic, that's all it is. But we also get some door pockets back here, which definitely feel really nice, and we even get our own little bottle pockets back here as well. Also have a nice little convenience light back here as well with full incandescent bulbs. However, we can fold the seats and go back to the trunk area where you have an absolutely gargantuan rear area over here. You got these nice thick sidewalls, and we even have a false floor with a space saver spare, which is really nice. And if we pull these levers down, we get a ton more room, effectively turning our Camry into a van. Now the opening is honestly, it's not that big, and there's this giant ramp toward the seats, which isn't the most ideal, but hey, any bit of space we can get, right? And so you can fit a lot of stuff in the back of your Camry, especially considering just how wide this Camry's back end is. But let's go ahead and talk about the driving impressions of this 2024 Toyota Camry. How does the last 2.5 liter 4-cylinder without a hybrid drive? What does it feel like to drive on the road? So let's talk about how this Toyota Camry is to drive. First of all, having an 8-speed automatic is freaking fantastic compared to a CVT. You can feel every single shift, and it's incredibly smooth as well. I like being able to see it on the tack. You go to almost redline and it downshifts just like any other normal car, but it's incredibly smooth in this. Now the steering feel is actually pretty good. It's a little light, but it's got plenty of weight and it's very precise as well. Plus, if I put it into sport mode, like I said earlier, you can actually tighten the steering a little bit more and make it feel truly like some kind of high-end sports sedan, and that I really appreciate, given that this is only $32,000 and You can actually have these for much cheaper. The all-wheel drive also definitely helps with traction as well. That part is also greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and take a look at the pedals for a second. We have floor-mounted pedals, which is awesome, just like a German car. Absolutely fantastic. The brake feel is also really good too. It's really easy to stop from high speeds, and I just love the way this Camry accelerates. It's incredibly quick. You can get up to 75 miles an hour with no problems at all in just a few seconds. It's really, really quick, and it handles really good too. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and turn that brake off, put it in a drive. We'll turn the steering wheel all the way, and we'll go in a little circle. The driving experience of the Camry is really easy. There's little to no body roll. It's a really, really nice driving car, and the turning radius is perfect enough to get you anywhere to where you need to be. And then once you stop, pure car and park, put the electromechanical parking brake on, and then you're there. And it's incredibly smooth on the highway as well. Driving at the speed limit of 75 miles an hour, it's an incredibly smooth car, especially with the 19-inch wheels with the thin tires. It irons out the bumps really well. And I have to say that this drives like a $40,000 or $50,000 German sports sedan, and it's just a Camry, and it's a really impressive car to drive. Who's to say that that's going to be the same once they switch to the 2.5 liter hybrid? I've driven the hybrid in the Crown and it was really good, but we're going to lose that 8-speed automatic transmission. So if you want a Camry that's really made for enthusiasts, especially the V6 Camry, which yes, they still make, that is still available. So let's go ahead and take one last look at the outside of this beautiful Toyota Camry with these bronze wheels. This is going to be your last chance to get one of these, for now at least, before they go full hybrid. And that's kind of sad to say, but the V6s are also becoming really hard to find too. They're making the last of the V6s right now and these 4 cylinders with no hybrid. All the Camrys are going to be hybrid only starting in 2025, and you bet I'll be looking at one of those as well, including its fuel economy benefits too. So if you want the fuel economy benefits, you can always get a hybrid, but if you want something that's quick like this, now is your time to get one. So with that message, that about wraps up this review of the 2024 Toyota Camry SE Nightshade. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next review. Drive safe, guys.